friends, welcome back. All right, today we're going to talk about finding missing sides. So we're going to use proportions, and remember a proportion is just comparing two ratios, and a ratio is a fraction. So we're going to use proportions in order to find missing sides. First things first, we have our scale factor given here. That means from A to B, we go from 1 to 2. So every one thing that is on here, one unit here, we're going to have 2 over here. Take your scale factor, write it as 1 over 2 equals. Now be very careful here. It was A to B, right? A to B. So when we set up our proportion, we want to keep the A's on the top and the B's on the bottom. So A to B, we got that. And now A is the one we don't know. We're going to call that X. So then X over the B, which is 8. And now we can do two things. We can cross multiply, or we can look at this and say, oh, hey, and if I multiply 2 times 4, I would get 8. So let's do it upstairs. 2 times 4, or I'm sorry, 1 times 4 is X. So 4X equals 4. Another way of doing that is cross multiplying. 1 over 2 equals X over 8. We're going to multiply this times this. 2X equals this times this. 8 times 1. To get our X by itself, we're going to divide both sides by 2, and that gives us X equals 4. So you see we get the same answer either way. All right, so let's talk about this one. We don't have a scale factor, but we do have 2 parts on each of our units here. So there are a couple different ways to actually set this up. We could say this is A and this is B. And what I could say is A to B equals 22 X minus 2 equals B, oh, whoops, I'm sorry. Let's try that again. Ignore that I just did. A to B. So, no, 20 over X minus 2. Sorry, guys. Equals 24 over 6. I was getting excited to show you the other way too, so bear with me. Okay, so what we can do is cross multiply. Remember, if you ever have addition and subtraction in your fractions, you want to make sure to protect those. Protect them with parentheses, because you don't, 1, you want to distribute, and 2, you don't want to accidentally cancel something out. So cross multiply, we get this times this. 24 times X minus 2 equals 20 times 6, which gives me 120. Okay, now I can distribute if I want, but I can also just divide this guy by 24. 24. So now I get X minus 2 equals 120 divided by 24 is going to give me 5. Add 2 to both sides. X is going to equal 7. Okay, so that's one way of doing it. The other way, so you see I did A over B. The other way you could do it is like, let's just say top over side. So what I do is, and this is where I mixed myself up earlier, the top over the side equals the top over the side. So top over the side, 24 over 20 equals the top over the side, 6 over X minus 2. All right, now here's a different way to solve this, just if you need. We can reduce these guys, right? If we divide this by 4, we end up with 6. If we divide this by 4, we end up with 5. So what we have is 6 over 5 equals 6 over X minus 2. And now you can ask yourself, what can I, so I've got to have, since 6, let me back up. Since 6 times 1 is 6, 5 times 1 is 5. So I got to make this guy over here equal 5. And you can say, okay, well, you can do just like we did over here, X minus 2 equals 5, and then set it up. Or you can say, oh, if I have 7 and I take away 2, that would give me 5. So X equals 7. So 2 different ways to do those proportions. Awesome. We'll see you next time, guys.